Welcome to a very special edition of Strategy Session with Jonathan Schrantz. And today I'm joined by a very special member here at the Chess Club. I'm joined by Arjun Puri, who's just been coming to the club all the time, goes to all the lectures, all the classes, and it seems like your rating just keeps going up and up and up. What's your rating these days?
1,400.
1,400? Arjun just keeps coming. It looks like he went from like 1,200 to 1,400 in like a tournament. No? He's also very modest. Arjun's just been doing very well, and I expect his rating to keep going up. So we're going to go over two of the games that Arjun here has played. Both of these games were played in Monday Night Mayhem. The first game he played, round one, he played against Darien Turner, one of the forerunners in the tournament, one of the big guys. So I guess he's in the 1,900 range. And we'll also look at another game where he played another Class B, Class A player. And so we'll have a look at some of those games. So this was Monday Night Mayhem. So after my Monday night class, you do a thematic tournament based on the opening. So Arjun didn't get to pick his opening. And just so everybody knows, it's game 45 with a 5-second delay. Okay, so all these opening moves, can be seen in my lecture. So we'll just jump to wherever I had you start. I assume I started with this check on the board because I always like it when it's black's turn to move. Okay, so here Arjun had to make his first move. And having gone to the lecture, he found the correct way to block. So that was good. And already Darian did something a little bit interesting. And the main move is actually A4, but he played knight F3. And the point of A4 is to prevent black from going through with his basic middle game plan, which is pushing his majority on the queen side. I did mention it briefly in the lecture, so I thought maybe he was just playing this to, he didn't want Arjun to be all booked up. He knows Arjun is sitting here in class. He's really studying it hard. So I thought he just was doing this to get Arjun out of theory. But I guess he just said he just made a mistake. He's like, oh, I forgot to play A4. And Arjun played here correctly. So you played A6. Excellent. And if the audience or Arjun has any comments at any point, feel free to stop me. And he played an interesting move that we did consider. There's all sorts of bishop retreats. If you just play bishop d3, then black plays b5 and gets on with his plan. But he played this interesting option of taking the knight. Did you expect that move?
25%.
25%? All right, that's probably about right. And this knight actually is typically a pretty good piece for black. So we did mention the possibility of trading the bishop for the knight, which is it's an interesting strategy. And here again, all the bishop retreats. I mean, bishop d3 is the main move. And you allow b5, but that, you chose the variation, not me. So instead he took, and again here you can play a4. A move that kind of surprised me though, queen c2, which I think is a bit slow. I think if you're playing and you're just trading the bishop with check, you want to, get something in return for your time. So probably a4 here is to be recommended. But he played queen c2. And then here it was interesting for me, because I thought you would play b5, but you castled. And I was trying to figure out which is more accurate. Maybe castling's more accurate.
I forgot to play b5.
You forgot to play b5? Because I was wondering if you were saying to white, you don't even have time. You played queen c2, now you don't even have time for a move like this, because I don't know, maybe you're already ready to strike with a move like f5 or something like this.
I forgot that he could play a4. I thought that he could only play it after I played knight f to d7.
Okay, interesting. And so I don't know, but this might even be more accurate. I don't know, because a5 is wasting some time. You might be able to get f5 in and attack the center right away. So Darian was not interested in stopping it, so he decided to just castle. And now you did do it, b5.
I guess I remembered.
All right, good. You remembered your own game?
I didn't.
You remembered to play b5?
It. I didn't remember. I remembered it.
Okay. A4. Okay, so if you don't want to let him open up the file, you have to play a move like b4. And okay, it does force his knight to a sort of awkward square, but perhaps in the future he'll be able to make use of some of the light squares. Maybe he can get that knight to c4.
Or maybe the f3 knight to c4.
Or maybe the other knight to c4. And then I think here there was also another interesting moment. So you went here, which kind of surprised me. So I kind of wanted to talk about this position. And I guess the way I'm looking at it is I still want to think about what I want to do on the queen side. So I guess I'm still, in the future, I'm trying to play the moves like c4 as black, and maybe I can get my knight here. So I thought perhaps it would have been a little more natural to put your pawn here on a5 with the idea of putting the bishop over on a6.
I didn't really want to weaken the light squares too much.
Okay. But you do have a light squared bishop, and he doesn't. So that's...
But he has two knights that can get into holes. But I guess I should play a5.
Yeah, because then... And then also, if you control c4, you might be able to push your c-pawn, and then your knight gets to c5. And... Okay, sometimes the knight, it's always sometimes a question. Sometimes it is better on f6, sometimes it's better on d7. Sometimes it's tough. The good thing about having it on f6, though, if we look at the plus side, is it's really hard for him to ever push e5 because now his d-pawn is hanging. So in a lot of lines now it's just harder for him to push in the center. So that's the good side.
I never considered that good side.
Never considered that good side?
I couldn't figure out anything else to do.
So you just played it. Were you intending then just to develop the bishop out this way?
Or maybe rook e8.
Or rook e8? Yeah, these are all quite normal moves, so okay. And we'll see how the game went. Knight d2. So this is a bit too much retreating. It's going to c4. Yeah, okay, so he's going to c4. It's all planned out?
Yeah. And
okay.
Also put the queen on c2 because I want to play b3, bishop b2 quickly.
Yeah, these sorts of ideas as we saw Aronian do against Caruana. All right, which is, it's typically pretty dangerous. So here you put your queen on e7. I didn't know which was better, the queen or the rook. I knew something should go to the e file.
Maybe both.
Maybe both? Okay, and I think that's what you did in the game, right? You put both of them there?
Yeah.
But now, Darian is already shaking his head. Rook e1 was not a good move. And we'll get the rest of the audience involved. What's the move here for black? Arjun.
Knight takes d5?
Yeah. So this was missed in the game. You didn't play this move, Arjun.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a pin. Yeah, that's just a clean pawn, so that would have just been really good for you. Yeah, so a missed opportunity, but you did move your knight. So you thought about moving the knight, you just didn't think about taking the pawn. And so Darian got away with one. Yeah, so Darian is saying he never really wanted to play e5, mostly because that's not Darian's style. And he was more focused on trying to get the moves b3 and bishop b2 in, just to contest the long diagonal. Which is interesting, and okay, but yeah, you did miss a little opportunity there. So okay, you took back, excellent, and now the knight gets to go to c4. And how did you evaluate the position at this point?
I thought he was a little better.
That he was a little bit better.
Knight.
Yeah, his knight's pretty good.
But I have a bishop on the long diagonal.
And pretty soon, you could have played your really, really good move here on this move, but you waited a turn.
Oh, wait, bishop d4?
You'll see. So we'll show the audience. In this position, I mean, he could play the right move in this position, but he waited one turn. And Darian could have avoided it with what's coming with bishop d2. But what move did Arjun play in this position? He has a really clever move. Do you know what Arjun played?
I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah, that's tough. That was like...
If I had notation,
it was
I
8
could
days
figure it
ago.
out.
Does anyone see just a really clever move that black can play?
I missed that. I didn't think it was that big a deal.
Queen to h4.
Queen h4. Okay, this is interesting because you're attacking the rook. So I'm going to move this. I'll just go here.
Then the knight and bishop check.
Okay.
Bishop f2. It looks dangerous.
It does look pretty dangerous. Yeah, I guess maybe I have to go all the way here.
After bishop, I think I have found something.
Think you found something in this line?
No, after king h1, bishop f2, rook f1.
Okay, then you're not worried about this?
h3. Oh wait, yeah. Then after queen
this
h2,
is-
it's mate.
Yeah, this is
Queen
not good.
h2 is mate.
So yeah, perhaps in this position, I do have to stop that. And you did play this a few moves later, this check, which is a big part of the Benoni. So you remembered to do it, which was good. But, sorry, in this position, Arjun played another fantastic move. Do you remember now?
Bishop f6, I saw the notation.
Bishop f5.
Oh.
Yeah, bishop f5, just threatening to win the pawn. And so now you see that there's a pin.
Yes.
You only see it like when it's like cooler. When it just wins a pawn, you didn't see it.
Yeah.
But now that it's like cooler and attacks a pawn in a really funny way, now you see it. So white basically has to go back. And then you really should just leave your bishop there. He's sort of all tied up and the pin's not going away. But you played... I don't even know. Did you check now? Yeah, you checked. Okay, so that was good. And this always is a big part of the Benoni, playing bishop to d4 as black. So very good. And now you missed a chance. You retreated your bishop.
I know why I played there. I want to play f5.
You played there so you could play f5?
Yeah.
Which I think is in itself a good idea. But perhaps your best bet was even to go queen h4. So very similar to what was just
Yeah, it
mentioned.
looks dangerous.
And in this case, you can't even move the bishop to connect the rooks. So it would be an even improved version of that other good version. So perhaps the continuation will go like this. Now you can attack the queen. And if he blocks, you can even just drop back and black just has full command of this position. And now your idea of f5 is really good. You could double on the e-file first or just play f5. So something like this also would have just been tremendous for black.
That was something because I looked at it there. Knight f3 didn't work instead of queen d1. There's a tactic there, right? And I don't remember what it was.
In this position,
Yeah.
that this doesn't work?
No. Knight f3. If I don't play queen d1, because knight f3 was more natural.
Okay, sorry, but in this position, knight f3,
Yeah.
there's a tactic.
Yeah.
All right.
Something. Some reason it didn't work. I saw queen h4, and I was just
You
going
ju-
to play knight f3 without thinking, but it didn't work. I didn't realize it after the game.
Is it just like similar? Do I just have to go back? Could it be?
Back of my take the bishop, but that's-
Or is it like I take here some like clever move? All right, if only
Yeah, that's what
if only there were a way to figure it out. Oh, you can take the rook apparently. Oh, and this is good. It doesn't even mess up the screen, so people at home don't know if we're cheating or not. So that's good news. And then now you just take here.
I missed this. I missed it.
Yeah, wow.
I don't see why it's so good.
You don't see why it's so
Oh,
good?
yeah.
And then
Free rook.
okay, so yeah, so something like this would have also been tremendous for black.
Right.
And also, yeah, the audience at home, they'll never know if we're cheating. Somehow it didn't mess it up today. So, okay, we'll turn it off though. Okay, so that all this would have been possible. So I don't think bishop d7 was necessarily the best move here. I think you could have kept it there. But playing f5 I think is definitely right and called for in this type of position. So now he gets a move. So he goes right back to c4. That's where he wants to be. That's where he goes.
I didn't think about a repetition there.
You didn't think about a repetition?
No.
You didn't think you should go here? And then,
No,
and then
I didn't
here?
want to do that.
But now in this position, you can play here.
I didn't see it. If I think on the previous move and I can't find it, I probably won't find out the next one.
See, maybe if you would have repeated, though, you would have had time to figure it out.
Then I would have thought it was a waste of time.
Yeah. Depends on how long you think about it, I guess. Okay, so I like it. Yeah, and that's the good thing about Arjun, too. You know, he's 400 points lower rated or so, and he's thinking about winning. And what was also cool while watching this, there was a player rated 2350 that was in the tournament, and you could see him, and he's just like, he's so super concentrated, and he's playing Mario Roper. And he's like, yeah, you know. And then I look over, and it's Arjun doing the same thing. You know, he's just like so focused, so determined. And that's one of the things that I think people are so afraid to play you, because you're always like, you're determined to win. It doesn't matter what they're rated. And I think that just makes you, you know, a really difficult competitor to play with. Because, you know, I see everybody else and they're just kind of like, you know, talking and like playing, you know.
Like if I like
Arjun's there to
in some
win.
cases, if I'm like playing like a really high rated player, I just go for a draw for move one.
Does that work out for you?
Usually not.
Usually not.
Then I lose.
Do you ever try to beat really high-rated players from move 1?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Does that work out better? Or same result?
Slightly better.
Slightly better. All right. Yeah. And yeah, normally when you're just thinking about a draw, it just doesn't work out. But, when Arjun's really determined to win, he's very strong and hard to beat. So here it's black to move, and let's see, as you stated you wanted to do, f5. Okay, I think that's very logical in the position. And I guess white has to push.
I think I also had to play knight c4 for the same reason. That's how I was thinking.
You had to play knight c4 so you would be able to play e5 in the case of f5.
I thought I considered this for a long time, and I thought that his passed pawns would just be too much of a weakness.
Okay,
Rather
so
than a strength.
you think his pass pawns are going to be a weakness. Okay, excellent. And here you took, which you almost always have to take this. And then here, Darian played a move that is normally really good for white, but it wasn't the case in this exact position. Here he played the move d6. Much better was just taking on e5.
Yeah.
And normally this is, a good move. I mean, white wants to play the move d6, even, in most positions. But here it doesn't quite work. And Arjun could have played a really nice combination here. I think in the game you just moved your queen over here.
I did.
But we'll ask the audience too. What do you think? What could Arjun do? There's a couple moves. If you find a couple moves in a row, then okay, you get a really good position.
I think I found the first move at least.
Okay, what's the first move?
Queen h4, it looks like.
Yeah, queen h4. Yeah. Good thing. Normally, Arjun's out there in the audience, and he's the only one answering the questions. So it's even easier when you're right here. Okay, so he protects, and I mean, there's a lot of different ways, but even just a simple move like this puts a lot of pressure on white. And you have all sorts of ideas of attacking this pawn. You can go here and here, and you have all sorts of attacking ideas that it's already really hard for white to think about defending a position like this. So this really active plans might have really worked out for you, but you decided you just go to g7, which is safe enough. It controls e5. But perhaps, again, another missed opportunity to get a tremendous position.
Yeah, I didn't think that his passed pawns would be too strong in that position.
Okay, were you hoping to pick up his pawns coming up soon?
I was hoping that I figure a way to break into his position and get my rooks behind his pawns.
Okay, yeah, I think that's very sensible. But it's the Benoni, so also you should attack.
I thought white's supposed to attack.
Oh yeah, it's double-edged. Yeah, when you play black in the Benoni, you attack as well. Everybody attacks everybody. Especially, if white isn't attacking you and you don't have to defend. Very often it is black that is the one that gets to be the aggressor.
I thought you said the opposite yesterday.
Well, when white plays well.
Oh.
See, sometimes, white doesn't attack you and play the most critical whatever. So, alright, takes. Alright, takes. How should he take back? Now this is a question the audience can answer. How should we take back?
Rook.
All right, good. All right. We got to make sure everyone in the audience is on the same page here. I guess it was a tough question because... Okay, so you doubled here. So all this was normal. And then, I don't know, somewhere around here, Darian's like, hey, stop watching that game. Come watch my game. This is so incredible. What's going on? It was very complicated. And this is tough already.
Around here, he offered a draw.
Okay. And you declined. Okay. All right. I love it. Yes, what is he going to do?
Yeah, I missed this.
You missed this move?
Yeah.
And I think you traded. I suppose maybe you don't have to trade. Maybe you can do something else.
Well, I didn't find anything else.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else.
Yeah. You have to keep the c5 pawn.
Okay, but even if he takes your rook and you take back with a queen, you're still defending your pawn.
Yeah, after the move, I thought it was I thought I should just try to get my king active or something.
Because you are helping out the rook on b1 a little bit.
Yeah. And now his bishop is probably his best piece.
Yeah, the bishop is quite nice. It's really right in your face.
The one for queen h4, because that's the move I missed too. If I play b6, I'm thinking, all right, it's my bishop. Because I just figured he play any queen move.
Any queen move, and yeah. All right, but here, what did you do, Arjun? You went here, which is interesting. Why did you play this move?
stop queen c4 check, but I missed queen takes c5.
Mm-hmm. But that wasn't played. Also,
Yeah.
why didn't you take this?
I thought if his queen got to d3, it'd be a little too active.
All right, you
So
thought.
I played d3 thinking I could keep his queen from getting really active.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I assume queen b3, queen f2, or maybe. Do you have any active moves?
Well, you take the a pawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just keep taking stuff and.
And then, the b
Yeah.
pawn's kind of weak.
But I thought nobody takes nobody in the Benoni.
Right. So yeah. Right, which is true. So yeah. So Darian knew that, and you finally got to play your move b3. So any second now he's gonna fiend shed. Oh wait a minute. So, but he got b3 in. Now the c pawn is attacked.
Yeah, I think I know
I
what
think
I should
here-
have played.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
or
like that move,
queen
getting-
f6. Looks,
Queen f6.
but it drops a pawn, so I don't like it anymore.
It's the trickiest. Well, we're hoping.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're hoping for.
So yeah, queen e5 threatens a pawn then.
Can you just take this? What's your big threat?
No, I said queen d5 threatens a pawn.
Queen d5 threatens a
Yeah.
pawn.
No, for black instead of queen f6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's I think that's the right move.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he attacked your queen. Oh no. Yeah. Right. So here's his little tactic that I assume works. I assume White doesn't have any like counter checks and but you never know. Sometimes he might be able to check you and defend his rook somehow. And but that's the little trick we're playing for. So rook d1.
Yeah, white wins if I play queen takes d6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In this, if we
yeah.
pass.
Yeah, then like queen c4, king h8, bishop f6 wins.
All right. What's your line again?
Queen c4.
Okay. And then I go to some dark square, which is kind of scary.
Right there. I'm not sure what to do anymore.
Yeah. Nobody could ever solve the problems. All right.
It's black to play. I mean, it's white to play.
It's white to play, and you should
Yeah.
just go here and ignore everything.
And hope to win.
All right. So yeah, apparently black is winning after this. So yeah, so this is a real threat. And yeah, rook d1. It says best move. So okay. So you played the best move. You went here. I suppose also, you could consider going here just so that if he takes your pawn, you take his pawn.
Yeah, with queen e4, I was playing for a draw.
Okay.
After queen
Queen e4, you're playing for a draw. And because he just takes this now.
Yeah. No, I was thinking that he would take the queen and then like try to grab my pawns. Well, I'd hope to grab his, and then it would matter on the king side, and I tried to draw a pawn down.
And every now and then you take this pawn when he's not looking. And
No, I was thinking about bishop b6, bishop takes b3, bishop a4, then
Okay.
letting him grab all my pawns and try to win.
Yes, that was an interesting option taking, but I think this is just a safe pawn to grab, and I think it's just completely equal now.
I thought rook c8 was coming. I didn't think it was that safe.
Mm-hmm. You thought rook c8. Okay, so this wasn't played in the game. I assume there's different things I can do. I can come in here. I can go back to safety. It's yes. This also would have been interesting. Did you consider this move?
No.
And you thought he
I was
had
playing
some.
for tricks.
You're playing for tricks. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. You made a serious threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting queen c4 there.
All right. You're expecting queen c4.
Yeah, and trying to make him, trying to make me sack, and then like play for like.
What?
No, I was expecting like him to take.
You're expecting him to take
Yeah, and then like
in this line here. You were gonna move and he's gonna take.
Oh, I thought his queen was on c4 the entire time.
No.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, queen c4. I thought about taking, and then like pawn takes bishop a4 d7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like this is. It's quite
Yeah,
nice.
after d7, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I assume White's winning now.
I thought that I could try and draw 3 versus 2, but the 2 has the extra bishop.
Yeah, if here, and I don't think you're gonna
I
be
was
able
thinking
to
rook
push all
c8.
these guys
I was thinking rook c8.
in this position.
No, after bishop
After
takes
this,
d7.
rook c8.
Yeah. At least At least I think I was.
Do I have time to protect all my stuff and still not let you queen?
I think I was thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise I'm coming up with it right now.
But yeah, your pawns better be queening, or else you're down a bishop.
2 pawns though.
2 pawns. You know a bishop's worth 3 pawns.
3 pawns is sometimes more than a bishop though.
That's right.
All right. Okay, so he took, and we'll get back to the game here. He made a threat. He saw it. He didn't just trade the queens. Though if you would have known he was going to like sack his pieces, you should have traded queens. All right, so queen f2, and I mean, I still think this is just completely equal now. Your king got a little active. I probably would have played bishop d7, but this is probably fine. He made a little luft. All right, he's not going to get back rank checkmated. Very good.
I wouldn't have anyway though.
You wouldn't have
like
anyway?
I still have g6 and f7 even if I'm on g8.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you attacked a pawn. And then somewhere around here, so now it's actually, it's getting a little dangerous for your king.
Yeah.
It's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah. Now
Because here, you played this move. Probably it's already so dangerous that you should take the draw here.
Oh, like with what?
With what?
He didn't offer a draw here.
Yeah, but similar to the game.
Should I have played bishop takes g2?
Yeah, I think you should have just gone here and gone for the draw. And this is going to be sort of what happens in the game.
Yeah.
And if king h2, then just queen e5. And then he's eventually going to have to take it.
Yeah.
But just to give one line, if here, you can just keep checking with your queen.
Or I can take a rook.
Or you can take the rook and then make white try to draw with you.
Yeah.
So you could have made him try to find all this.
If he can't draw, like, then I think I'm winning. If he can't figure out a draw.
Mm-hmm. But objectively, it should be a draw. But here, I think it's now that you had the really crushing double exclam. Is that this move? Yeah. So we'll let the audience try to see. White actually has a winning move here. It's quite brutal and not very easy to see. So we'll give the audience a chance. And then when they can't figure it out, we'll just ask Arjun.
I haven't figured it out either.
You haven't figured it out? Okay. You didn't analyze this with a computer after your game?
No.
Okay.
I don't know where my notation is.
All right, I can send it to you.
Oh.
All right, tactical challenge.
Number 9? Or number 14?
Number 14.
Oh.
You probably know what I'm up to more than I do. And queen d4 is definitely a part of it. The truly amazing move that white can actually play in this position is the very ruthless d7, which, I mean, is just amazing. And it's like, what's that all about? Well, okay, if we take, white actually can play
d4.
queen d4. That's a part of it. Yes, yeah, white actually has so many threats, and the computer wants to take this. And the point is similar, yeah. So queen d4 is a part of it. It wants to go here and here. It wants to go here. Like, there's so many threats that it says white is now completely winning. I assume neither of you saw d7, because it's not an easy move to see. And even working it out with the computer, there's all sorts of crazy variations that we could go into. It's
and that
not a very human
more than
move.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Seconds.
So you didn't just intuit d7. You would have been like the hero. You'd be up here right now telling us you played d7. All right, but instead you took here, which is now again just a draw.
Yeah.
And then I think here, yeah, you just went in for it now. Mm-hmm. So similar to that line, yeah, you take here, and now it should be a draw. And I like that at first he didn't take it, which is good, yeah. All right, and then eventually, though, you will be forced to take it. Only move, you can't go back to the first rank, because then you take the rook.
Then I take the rook check.
Okay. And so, okay, white has to show that he can draw this position.
Yeah, I allowed an easy draw.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you should play something else here?
I was thinking about king h6, but I saw that he'd just get back into it with queen e3, it looks like.
Queen e3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I really? I can go get mated.
Yeah.
So I have to go back, and then you'd go here?
Yeah.
Okay, and so that also would have just been a draw.
Yeah.
In the game, Okay, it was
And I thought about king h6.
in which.
In
So they repeated
around- Like, with after bishop f6, king h6.
Okay.
And yeah, queen takes e8, queen g1 gets another draw.
Okay,
But,
so you,
but white has to see the tactics.
Boyd has to see the tactics. You could have
Yeah.
tested them.
I could have, but I didn't want to take the risk.
Risk that what? you don't want to take the risk that he might blunder, because then you would have won. That's the risk you weren't willing to take.
I don't know.
Yeah, so actually, I mean, it was a spectacular game. It was obviously very, very complicated. So it's actually, yeah, it was a good game. How do you feel about that game? Are you upset you didn't win?
No.
No. Okay, so I thought, yeah, that was a really complicated game, really well fought. And now you got your half point. You're going in now to the second round, which was played just last night, and you're playing Danny Machuca. And also, what I like about Arjun is he just said to me, "Can I play Danny Machuca?" So I'm like, "Sure." Some people would have been like, "Wait, there's a 100 rated player in the tournament. Can I play that person?" But not Arjun. He's like, "Okay, I want to play the top two people." And we were gonna try to show a game that he lost for this lecture, but that's too hard because he doesn't lose. So here's
I
a game
do
he played
lose.
against Danny. You do lose?
Yeah.
Like you sometimes lose chess games?
Yeah.
Wow. I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know. You win a lot.
I thought you have seen it.
I probably have.
Wait, didn't you direct the, I forgot what was it called. Oh, Show Me Classic?
Yeah, you lost some games in that
Yeah.
tournament. Yeah, there's some pretty good people. Okay, so this is his game against Danny Machuca, one of our own. Danny works here. Arjun. Again, the opening was forced, so we'll jump through it. And today it was this special line, and here Danny has the choice. So it's black to move,
Yeah.
and he chose something on purpose to make sure that there was no theory allowed.
Oh.
He on purpose.
I thought he forgot the lines.
Well, he didn't go to the class, so Arjun went to the class, and so Danny's like, yeah, I'm not doing any theory. I'm going to play just some random move.
He knew these lines? Well, if he
I think he just assumed B6 was not theoretical,
oh,
and now you're on your own.
it doesn't look theoretical. It looks like A6 is theoretical.
And yeah, there's so many lines in this position. The main move being B5, so we talked about this.
Yeah, I
Also
consider
popular is
B5.
A6. Like this is a move. This is a move. Everything's a move. And this has been played by a few grandmasters, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
And one more last night.
And one more.
Yeah, Danny.
And Danny.
Yeah.
So you castled, which I think is correct. And Danny, again, did something. He played knight f to d7. And I asked him why, and he's like, well, because it's the funniest. So the main line in this variation is to put the bishop on a6. I mean, that's why you played b6. And we can just show a few moves here. They trade, and okay, at some point you should play a6 and b5, but Danny did that, but really slowly. Okay, and you get a position like this where you can even do this really cool maneuver where you swing the rooks over. So something like this is the way black typically plays these positions. And he did actually mention the possibility of doing this because he's like, yeah, but then it would be a Machuca rook, and I didn't want you to make fun of me when I play the Machuca rook and I lose. So Danny actually did consider something like this.
Oh.
But he's like,
Wait, he calls it the Machuca rook?
well, I call it the Machuca rook.
Oh, because he doesn't
But normally...
rook?
Yeah, but normally the first game Danny ever played, when he came to the club for the first time,
Yeah.
he played a game in the Knights and he lost, and he let his opponent take a bishop on a7, so his rook ended up like that in the corner, and in that position it was a very, very bad rook. Sometimes that's okay. So, but it's funny too. He shows me all these examples. I'm like, show me one example where the Machuca rook is good. He shows me all these draws, and he's like, but okay. I mean, sometimes it is fine, as in here, because you're swinging the rook over.
Yeah.
But I just call it the Machuca rook because that's the first game I ever saw him play. He ended up like this, and it was a case where it happened to be a bad example. Okay, so we'll go back and see what he actually played in the game. He played the funny knight f to d7.
I thought he was recalling on last week's lecture.
Right, when this was the thing, but yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Because white's got all his pieces out and castled, and it's a completely different
And
position.
a bishop on d3.
But I feel like this is just the wrong plan. He's going to put his knight here on e5, which is going to allow white to trade. So I do like your move. You went here, getting more control over e5.
And threatening the backward pawn when the
and you're-
downside to the Benoni.
Yeah, you're threatening the d6 pawn. But I think just this plan in general, in allowing, white to get the passed pawn, sort of the Kramnik D pawn. He loves to have that passed pawn. I think is in general, it's just a mistake. This is already very good for white, just positionally. And it is always a question here, too, of whether or not he should actually trade the dark squared bishops. And the Benoni is sort of funny because normally, like if this is a dragon, you're like, oh, I'm never giving away that bishop. But in the Benoni, sometimes it's black that can exploit the dark squares. And so often you will want to do this trade. And I was playing a player once where it was a similar position where they allowed something like this. And in that game, which was obviously completely different than this, he took with a pawn and it was wrong. He was supposed to trade the dark squared bishops first. And even though it's a long ways away, there are some dark squares that, maybe his knight can go to and something like that. So it is always a question. I don't think in this particular position it's particularly wrong to take with the pawn. But I think in general the strategy of giving white a passed pawn is just incorrect for black.
I was more afraid of this one than the bishop takes.
Mm-hmm. You thought you'd
The
be able to
takes
exploit
is
the dark
better.
squares?
No, I thought that, yeah. Because my
Okay.
queen's good on h6.
Because your queen's good on h6?
Yeah, so is my bishop.
So he took, and then I like what you did here. So, obviously, you have to make a decision, and you stayed on the bishop's natural diagonal, which I think is good. I think if you go back to g3, you might be shut out of the game for a while. So I like this. He went here. I don't know. I'd probably still play bishop a6, or I'd just play a6 and try to play b5 or something. But, okay, he's maneuvering his knight. I guess he's going to f6. And, okay, from f6, I think he was thinking of blockading. So he's going to do some triangulation with the knight.
Knights can't do triangulation, though.
So, okay, so you played here, and I think, your intention is to trade the dark squared bishops. And as always, it's always a thing, it's strange. Sometimes it is black that wants to trade the dark squared bishops. So I think I would only do this. You're going to do this in a second. But I think I would only make that trade if I was, like, checkmating him or something. But we'll look at the game.
Would F4 be a move here?
In this position, F4 was played.
F4 was.
So I guess it is a move.
But I don't like F4 either.
But it was played, so it's a move.
It is a move. 'Cause here, I feel like you just, positionally, you have a big advantage. Mm-hmm. And so if you're thinking about what Danny's going to do next, I don't know what he's going to do. And so when you play F4, you are drastically changing the nature of the position. Mm-hmm. So, I wouldn't do anything here.
So maybe rook A1 was better.
Yeah, just play rook AD1. I think that's a fine move. I mean, just A4, just like any random move that doesn't really change anything. Because what's Danny gonna do? I'm curious.
He's just going to wait for me to do something.
Yeah, so I think you could have waited a little bit and see how he's
F3?
gonna develop. F3.
I considered it, but my plan was to trade the dark squared bishops, and then my light squared bishop's really bad.
Okay, and so you're thinking of attacking and checkmate.
No, I was thinking about supporting e4.
Okay, you're doing it for E4. Very interesting, very interesting. F4. Also, of course, this does liberate his bishop.
Yeah, but I was planning to trade it off.
You're planning on trading it off, so you weren't too worried. So I wonder, too, if he had played rook e8 here, which he didn't do. He went there because it's funnier.
He almost played rook e8. He almost touched his rook.
He almost touched his rook?
Yeah.
Were you just going to push or something? Or
No, I was going to trade bishops.
you're still going to go in for this?
Yeah.
And if he went, whoop,
My bishop's good on h6. At least it
my
looks
bishop's
good.
good on h8.
Oh, yeah. Maybe rook a1 and e5.
Yeah, I just feel like, F4 is obviously back, if we just back up to, I think F4 is obviously going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
But I probably would have waited forever. But he went here, obviously, because it's funnier.
Yeah.
But he's going to blockade on e5. Mm-hmm. And if he does manage to successfully blockade, it's, it might actually end up being good for him. Because here you wanted to trade, but then what ends up happening, if we'll just go forward a couple moves here. So you traded the dark squared bishops, but suddenly it's actually black, I think, that gets a really good piece on a dark square. Mm-hmm. So I don't particularly like this trading of the...
Yeah, he's trying to exploit the light squares in this case.
Mm-hmm. And, okay, so I think in an ideal world, too, he would trade these two people and have a good knight versus bad bishop scenario. Mm-hmm. Then he'd be very, very happy.
Yeah.
And,
Looks like it.
Yeah, suddenly I think I like black now. Because it looks like he's going to be able to blockade both of the pawns, and his knight on e5 is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do about that knight. Did you not mind that knight there?
I was thinking about a knight maneuver to get rid of it.
Okay. How were you going to do that? We're going to get this knight to c4 somehow?
No, get it to d3 somehow.
You're going to get it to d3 somehow?
Yeah.
Did you actually have a plan? Or?
Like knight e2, knight f4, bishop c2, knight d3. But that wastes a lot of time.
Bishop somewhere in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what happened. b3. Did you think he was threatening this?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, can't you just take it?
Knight takes.
And yeah, Danny told me, he's like, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about c4. I guess that's a move, which is kind of strange too, because I think he generally does want to push those pawns, but here it just blunders a pawn.
Yeah.
And this trade would make it even worse because now you get that really pesky knight out of there.
Yeah.
So here, I think tactically you could have, maybe, I don't think he was going to play it because he told me I wasn't even thinking about that. He's like, b3, I didn't know what that was all about. But I assumed it was just to stop c4.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, he went here, very aggressive. So see, he's playing black and he puts his queen over there on
now
h4. That's
he's
what you
attacking.
should have done.
That's where you said.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I told you that it's the opposite of what a Benoni should be.
Yeah, I think it was here. Is this where? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. So you thought you were worse here, which I think you're worse, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like he's threatening to start to come in here, and then this sack becomes a real threat.
I didn't like that stuff.
Yeah, so you played a good move. You didn't let the queen in, and you're guarding h3 against potential sacrifices.
And I was threatening rook f4 there.
Yeah, and you are threatening rook f4, and then you didn't play it. You played something else.
Yeah.
So here, I don't know. You in this position, you played queen here, which I didn't really like, and I was talking in the postmortem with Danny before we looked at this with an engine or anything. I said, why here? Why didn't you play rook f4? Why would you want to trade the queens as white? And Danny thought that this was good. He's like, oh yeah, you trade the queens, but I didn't particularly like it. Did you consider rook f4?
I did.
And then what? Is there something you didn't like about it?
No.
No.
There's nothing I don't like about queen e4 though. Queen
Okay.
f4,
Whose king do you think is safer?
Is.
You think his king is safer?
Yeah.
It's a tough question, I guess. I don't know. I think maybe white is better by this one millipond. Do you think you're one millipond better?
No.
No.
I think that he's 3 or 4 milliponds better.
Okay. So let's check. Let's check. Do you trust Fritz, or do we need to get a serious engine?
I don't trust any of them.
You don't trust any of them?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Fritz, it doesn't like it. It says now you're a little bit worse.
So that's like 1/2 pawn.
Yeah, 1/2 pawn. It wants you to go here, so I wonder what about here? 0, 0, 0. But it doesn't tell us the millipons, so we can't really be sure.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't particularly like it. Fritz doesn't particularly like it. Danny liked it. Arjun liked it. Okay, so a6. So here finally he's getting his queenside play together. So the typical move, a4, very good. And now after f6, his favorite move. So that's good.
And Mike's least favorite.
And Mike's least favorite. I know. I wonder if that's why. I wonder if that's why he likes it. Because everyone says don't play that move, and then he loves it. Though his king should be here because he always plays f6, king f7 every game. I don't think his king ever goes there though.
No, he did. Like 20 moves later.
Okay, good. Yeah, I hope the king goes here because otherwise it wouldn't be a Machuca game. And now a funny thing happened. You went here, and then soon the a file opened up, and then your rook wasn't on the a file, and then he took the a file.
Yeah.
So that wasn't
I
good.
dropped an exchange.
And then you dropped an exchange. So yeah, this happened, and then since your rook was off the a file, he went to the a file, and now the position is quite good for black.
Yeah. I thought I was worse here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're just worse here. So
At least 100 millipons.
at least 100 millipons.
Yeah.
How many centipons is that?
I don't know.
G4. This I just didn't understand. I mean, what was this move all about? Because this just looks like you're
He gets
weakening.
play on the queen side, so I have to get play on the king side.
So you thought G4, G5?
No, I was thinking that if he got his rook onto the 6th with rook A3, I'd play G5.
Okay, so you thought if he went here in this position,
Yeah.
you'd play this move?
Yeah. The only move I didn't like was H6.
You didn't like H6 here?
Like, no, instead of rook A3.
Instead of rook A3?
Yeah.
If
Because it stops it.
I wonder if I should even stop this, though. Let's see. I'll play. What did Danny play? Danny played C4, which I think also was an interesting move. So if here, I mean, should I even stop it? I mean, I can play here. This is one interesting option. Though the position's so tricky, I really gotta make sure what I'm doing here. If only like Arjun were in the audience, I could ask him. But okay. Yeah, so it like just ignores everything. It's like, oh, defense. Just defend the pawn.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, and it says black is, a quarter
Vanilla
pawn
pawn
better. A quarter pawn.
Okay.
That's pretty serious. So that would have been interesting, but I think the way it turns out is this just weakens your king a lot, and you get into trouble.
Yeah, and maybe you could play G5 and try to like sack 2 pieces for rook and pawn.
Okay, so yeah, if he plays G5 here,
Yeah, rook F2.
you're gonna play rook F2.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, seems fine for black, right?
Yeah, I was thinking well, now
He
I'm
might
thinking
still do what he
bishop
would do in the game, or he might just double
Yeah.
his rooks, or who knows what.
Yeah.
Who knows what a Danny Machuca would do? I would be worried that sometimes this would happen.
H4 doesn't look good for black though. And I wouldn't be good on H4, I don't think.
Yeah, but not if I could just teleport there. I mean, but here you're gonna take it because I know you. You're gonna take it, right? You're gonna take it so
Eventually.
fast.
I'd play 92 first.
You play 92 first, and more sensible.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the game, Danny he got on with it. He's going to make a passer over there. And then I was wondering if the game, you took. I was thinking maybe he would try this move or some other move like this, which I thought worked out. But you'll have to tell
He
me.
drops the pawn,
Here?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I would do
Yeah, the problem is you can't put a rook on f3 to defend the knight.
Well, you
So-
can if you're willing to sack an exchange.
Well, I'm willing to accept, so.
Here
And
it's
then,
not worth
you
it.
know.
Here it's not worth it.
Also, rook a3. There's a lot of moves I can play now that would be really good. So I thought he could try something like that. Instead, he just took back. And now you went here. What was the reason behind this move? I guess you just want to be able to go to e2, so
I don't remember.
or you want to be
I
able to
think
go to
rook
e3.
maybe rook E3. was the
Okay.
purpose.
Because he did drop down,
Yeah. And now I made a mistake.
and now you made a
Yeah,
mistake.
he has knight F3.
And this actually is a funny position. So this is the most critical position in all of the games. So we will go to the audience. What you guys think the best move is, and I think the answer will actually surprise you. There's an even better move.
It doesn't look like knight F3 then.
So yeah, in the game,
Rook A2.
rook a2,
Or, yeah,
rook a2, which is one of the lines that does win. The point is if here, I'll have to remember exactly why. There's some crazy tactic. Does anybody see it? Both of these rook moves just lose.
Looks like rook B8 or something.
Okay, so this looks pretty good.
This looks pretty good too.
And I mean, yeah, if here it's even funnier. You can take this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you take check and you take the rook and everything falls apart. So there's all sorts of things. So he was kind of looking at rook a2. So he spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
But the computer's favorite move
Is
is rook here.
oh yeah, that looks good.
So you can't.
Oh
take.
wait, no, I think I did look at this yesterday. 'Cause
You
I
did?
remember the computer. Someone liked rook F3.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was.
And then
thinking
yeah,
rook
if here you
F1.
just go here and it's like black's winning by a lot.
Oh,
So yeah, this also would have been interesting.
I was after I played knight B1. I was trying to look relaxed so he wouldn't see knight F3.
And the computer doesn't like it. It's like now it's equal. Black went from winning to like equal.
Oh,
So yeah, you lose an exchange, but this is really funny. This position's great because you went here, and where does the rook go?
F4.
Yeah, it has to go to F4. I mean, it's just really funny that you have all of these squares under control. you have the entire third rank. So he had to put his rook here.
Yeah.
I did ask him if he was like thinking about counter-sacking the exchange just to not have your rook on F4. But he's like, no, I didn't think about that. So, yeah, okay, he went to F4. And now, again, I think he made a mistake. So this is sort of a planning exercise for the audience. And we're sort of low on time, so I'll let you guys, if you want to pause your video.
It looks like bishop D1.
Bishop D1?
Yeah, that looks good for white.
And what's the point?
Bishop F3. Try to win back the exchange.
You're going to put your bishop here and win back the exchange?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
By king G3.
But I always have G5.
And then, like, I'm kind of up the exchange.
Then will you finally attack it with your knight? Because here, yeah, what you actually should do, let's see if I can have it, is play here.
Oh.
And knight E2.
I did that next move.
Yeah, and then it was one move too slow. Because if here, and he would have to take this.
Yeah.
You know, he'd have to do something like this, and okay,
now
this,
it looks
this
like
shouldn't
a draw.
be. Yeah, it looks drawish now. But in the game, you went here, which gives him some time to do some stuff. So after this, now you're going for it, but it's a little bit different because he already has this move. So yeah, I guess you're worried about rook A3, which is a big threat.
Yeah.
So you don't quite have time to play knight E2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the
So
other version would have been
I was
better.
trying to keep the rook bottled up.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you had to be quick too with attacking it. It was hard to see too that he gets so much active play. You waste just one turn, and suddenly again he's super active. So again, the tables are in Black's favor here. You defended your knight, very good. And yeah, here he finally did it. So now I know Danny Machuca's playing Black.
Yeah.
This is an authentic Machuca game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also you could consider a move like H5.
Yeah.
I thought that might be a little bit stronger, but yeah, he runs his king all the way in. So we'll get to the next critical point. And then at some point he just took this.
I was confused. I thought he would play H5.
Yeah, I think H5 is a much better move, and it's similar to what he did. Maybe he wants to play King E5 first.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to win on the queen side with his king.
But yeah, you think he could at least get his king just a little bit closer too before he did something. Yeah. I think that's just blunders in exchange.
Yeah.
So I don't see any direct way for Black to exploit this, and yet again it feels like now it's just drawish again.
Yeah. And now H4 finally makes sense. H4 for white.
And with this position?
No, like no, not there, but like eventually. H4 makes sense.
Not here, but eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, just tell me when. He attacks your stuff. You defend your stuff.
As soon as I can get a king to E3 or G3, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And now he goes here, so okay, he's playing for the win.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting complicated here. So you take. All right, audience just got a lot higher rated. Yeah, this is really complicated because you're getting this passer. Also,
it's free.
King is active.
Yeah.
And yeah, it should be. This also was a nice move. It was really tricky. So,
I know.
yeah.
I hadn't seen it until he played bishop takes H3.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it, but I didn't notice the hanging bishop until he played it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so here you can't take on E4 either way, and yeah, it was a tricky move. So he went way over there, and now you took this.
Now I think I was playing for the draw.
You're playing for a draw? You're up a pawn.
I didn't know what to do.
You didn't know what to do?
Yeah.
You don't have to do
Well, I was
anything.
half playing for a win.
You were half playing for a win? What does that even mean? Playing for a draw?
No. Oh wait. Playing for a win and a draw. If he made
at the same
mistakes.
time, or?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, at the same time. Okay, so you defended it. I mean, you're a pawn up. G4. That's.
I didn't think that was a mistake, but it says question mark on this.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like this move, G4.
I thought he was just trying to draw now.
Because I think you can put your rook anywhere back here, so this isn't the game. But I thought if you put your rook back here, something like this, and you are in time.
In fact, if he had done it not just where you moved it, but if he moved the rook instead of down, moved to C6, isn't that mate in one?
You're trying to mate me in one move?
Yeah, then rook to E6. Oh, sorry, you moved the pawn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that doesn't quite work.
But you can deflect the bishop too.
Oops, sorry. Let's see. Your line was
A
here.
rook e6 is an interesting idea.
Move bishop to f1.
Okay. Take the e pawn.
With the
We'll
rook.
check. Yeah, this is sort of things are falling apart
It
now.
looks drawish still.
Looks drawish. I don't know. If black, I'm trying to win now, maybe. All right, in the game, you went here, which I think you were worried about this pawn,
Yeah.
but now,
And I'm up a pawn. Temporarily.
but not now.
Yeah.
Darn. Okay, so you do have a nice blockade, and again, it should be drawn. And then eventually Danny just blunders, like
Yeah.
big time, which is very unusual. How much time did you guys have in this
He had
position?
about 2 minutes. I had like 10.
Okay. All right, so here he takes. Okay, it's very, very drawn.
I
And
thought I
here
was.
he,
I thought
here
I
he
was
super
winning
blundered,
here.
right?
Yeah. He had a minute and a half though.
All right. How do you blunder in this position?
There's more than one way.
There's more than one way?
Well, there's only a couple though.
Yeah, so see. Can the audience blunder the way Danny Machuca did in this position?
Wait, am
What's-
I considered audience?
Sure. Well, nobody else is raising their hand. That's the problem. You're the only one in the audience that ever raises your hand. So, like, they never, I can never call on them.
Oh.
Like, I need you in the audience. All right. What did he play here, Arjun?
Rook g8.
Rook g8. Hopefully the audience can figure out the blunder here.
The bishop check.
The bishop check.
Oh, that's like the only move that
There's rook
Right.
g6 and rook takes f5.
Yeah, I'm sure Arjun can find all the losing moves.
Yeah,
but
rook g6. Rook
yeah,
takes
that's
f5.
just pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then so he resigned because it's mate in 10. Did you see it?
No, I just saw him with the rook.
No. Okay, obviously. And this is enough. So yeah, he's just losing his stuff, and it's even worse. Yeah, he gets mated really quickly. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right, so those were very good games, very exciting, and you're not afraid to take sharp risks against high-rated players. So it's a lot of fun. You have a point and a half, so you are one of the leaders in the tournament.
I didn't consider that to be a risk.
You didn't consider this to be a risk?
No,
Yes.
not the first one either.
Okay, well, excellent. Yeah, because some people they see 400 points higher rated than me and they get scared. But you were declining draws and you were playing for the win. So all right, fantastic stuff. So thanks for coming here and sharing your thoughts with us. And until then, we'll see you guys next week.